There are places in this world where stillness speaks louder than words, where discipline becomes art, and duty transforms into something sacred. Behind palace gates and fortress walls, men and women stand in perfect silence, their eyes fixed forward, their breath controlled, their entire being dedicated to a single purpose. These are the royal guards, keepers of tradition, protectors of history, and masters of restraint. What you see when you pass them is only the surface. A motionless figure in ceremonial uniform, polished boots reflecting the morning sun, a rifle held at a precise angle. But beneath that stillness lies a world of preparation, sacrifice, and unwavering commitment that begins long before the public ever arrives. The day starts in darkness. Hours before tourists gather with cameras, before the palace awakens, the guards rise. Their quarters are sparse and orderly. Every item has its place. Every movement has its purpose. There is no rushing, no chaos, just the quiet rhythm of preparation that has been perfected over generations. The uniform inspection is a ritual unto itself. Each button must align perfectly. Each crease must be sharp enough to cut paper. The ceremonial bearskin cap, standing 18 inches tall and weighing nearly 2 pounds, must sit at exactly the right angle. Boots are polished until they become mirrors, not because anyone will check this closely, but because the standard demands it, because the tradition requires it, because anything less would dishonor those who stood before them. The guards inspect each other with eyes trained to catch the smallest imperfection, a thread out of place, a buckle slightly off-center. These details matter, not for vanity, but because precision in small things builds the discipline needed for larger responsibilities. When your duty is to stand watch over something greater than yourself, every detail becomes significant. Then comes the march to position, footsteps synchronized, movements rehearsed until they become instinct. The changing of the guard is not merely a ceremony, it is a demonstration of continuity, a visible thread connecting present to past. Every step follows the exact path walked by countless others. Every turn happens at the same marked stone. This is not rigidity for its own sake. This is the preservation of something larger than any individual. Once in position, the real test begins. Standing completely still for 2 hours at a time. No scratching an itch, no shifting weight when legs begin to ache, no wiping away sweat that rolls down the face in summer heat or adjusting against the bite of winter wind. The body learns to endure what the mind once thought impossible. The posture is everything. Chin level, eyes forward, shoulders back, spine straight. This stance is practiced for months before anyone ever stands their first watch. In training, instructors will balance coins on shoulders to ensure perfect alignment. They will test reactions, push limits, build the mental fortitude required to remain present but unmoved, alert but unseeing. Because the eyes see everything. The guards notice the child who waves enthusiastically, the tourist who tries to make them laugh, the photographer who inches too close. They are aware of every movement in their peripheral vision, trained to distinguish threat from innocent curiosity, to know when stillness must give way to action. But their faces reveal nothing. This is not coldness. This is focus distilled to its purest form. The rules are absolute. No speaking unless addressed by an officer or responding to a threat. No acknowledging distractions. No breaking stance unless duty demands it. These rules may seem harsh to outsiders, but they serve a deeper purpose. They remove the guard's individual personality from the equation, allowing them to become a symbol rather than a person. They represent something eternal, something that transcends any single life or moment. During long hours of standing, the mind must stay sharp even as the body remains frozen. Guards are taught meditation techniques, mental exercises to maintain alertness without fidgeting. They count breaths. They mentally review procedures. They stay engaged with their surroundings while their exterior shows no sign of that constant vigilance. Night watches bring different challenges. The darkness changes everything. Fewer tourists mean fewer distractions, but also a deeper solitude. The cold settles harder. Fatigue weighs heavier, yet the standard never lowers. If anything, these are the hours that truly test commitment, when no one is watching except the stars and the stone beneath their feet. The hierarchy within the guards is strict, but earned through merit and endurance. Junior guards learn from veterans who have mastered the art of stillness. These senior members pass down not just techniques, but wisdom. How to lock your knees without fainting, how to stay warm in winter without visible movement, how to maintain dignity when tourists try every trick to break your composure. Training never truly ends. Even experienced guards continue daily drills. They practice marching until their synchronization is flawless. They rehearse emergency procedures until reaction becomes automatic. They study the history of their regiment, learning the names and deeds of those who came before, understanding that they are part of something that extends far beyond their own service. The physical demands are matched by mental endurance. Standing motionless requires a kind of strength that cannot be seen. It is the strength to ignore discomfort, to push past the screaming protests of tired muscles, to remain focused when every fiber of your being wants to move. This is not superhuman ability. This is ordinary people choosing, moment by moment, to honor their commitment. And there are sacrifices the public never sees. Holidays missed with family, social events declined because duty calls, the toll on knees and backs from years of standing, the anonymity of serving as a symbol rather than being recognized as an individual. Yet those who serve speak of it with pride, not regret. Because what they protect is not merely a building or a person. They protect continuity itself. They are living links to history, guardians of tradition, proof that some things remain constant in a changing world. Their silence speaks of values that do not need to be shouted. Their stillness demonstrates strength that does not need to prove itself. As the shift ends and the next guard arrives for the changing of the ceremony, the exchange is precise and practiced. The duty passes seamlessly from one to another, an unbroken chain stretching back through decades, through centuries. The guard who has stood for hours finally marches away, spine still straight despite exhaustion, discipline maintained until the final step. Back in quarters, there is a quiet moment of release. The uniform is carefully stored. The body is allowed to rest. But there is no complaint, no dramatic show of relief, just the quiet satisfaction of duty fulfilled, of a promise kept, of standing firm when standing was all that was required. The life of a royal guard teaches something profound about human capability. It shows us that true strength is not always loud or aggressive. Sometimes the greatest power lies in restraint, in the ability to endure without complaint, to serve without recognition, to stand firm not because someone is forcing you, but because you have chosen to honor something greater than yourself. In a world that constantly demands our attention, that celebrates the loud and the flashy, the Royal Guards remind us that there is dignity in silence, there is purpose in discipline, there is meaning in tradition. They teach us that patience is not passive. It is an active choice requiring tremendous strength. That duty is not a burden when it is freely chosen and deeply believed in. Their silent routine speaks to the heart of what it means to be truly dedicated. To prepare thoroughly, to execute flawlessly, to endure quietly, and to serve faithfully. These are lessons that extend far beyond palace gates. They touch on the fundamental question of what we stand for when no one is watching, what we maintain when it would be easier to let go, and what we become when we commit ourselves to something larger than our own comfort or recognition. The next time you see a royal guard standing in perfect stillness, remember that you are witnessing not just a person, but a living testament to the quiet power of unwavering commitment. In their silence, they speak volumes. In their stillness, they move us. And in their service, they remind us what it means to truly stand for something.